Well, good afternoon, Facebook family. Thank you all so much for taking your time out today to come on our broadcast of Women in Politics. But today we have a very distinguished guest with us today, Sheriff Melody Maddox of Dekalb County. So we're going to just be talking a little bit about women in politics today. She's going to share with us her journey as she started off as sheriff. So we will be able to do a Q&A as well. Then also my co-host here is Miss Yolanda Sanders.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So of course Yolanda always have the technical questions down, but with me myself, I just kind of like just come off the rip and just start asking questions. But I want to introduce my friend. I actually met her a few years back when she was actually running for the sheriff's office of DeKalb County. And believe it or not, you know, they say that, what's that term when they say that the cover is different or something? Oh, you can't judge a cover by its book.
Right. I'm by its cover.
Yeah.
There it is.
What is it now?
Can't judge a book by its cover.
Right. You can't judge a book by its cover. Because I tell you, when this lady walked in, we were actually with Georgia Windlass, and we were at this country club, and this lady came in this red dress. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching, and she said that she's going to be a candidate for sheriff. And I'm like, this pretty little lady is going to be running for the sheriff of DeKalb County. But I tell you, y'all, you cannot judge a book by its cover. So with further ado, I'm going to let Miss Yolanda say a few things, and then we're going to bring on Judge Sheriff Mattis. Judge. I'm sorry, Sheriff.
Did she title me a judge?
Another title.
Girl,
a whole nother title.
I don't want to get to the judge. Look, I have given you judgeship, sheriffship.
I'm like,
hey, you never know what the Lord is saying
right,
now.
I was about to say, I don't know what you're speaking into existence though, but no.
I mean, because look, I don't know where the judge thing came from, because I know that she's the sheriff of DeKalb County.
Yeah.
Lord. All right, Yolanda, take it away from here.
Oh, it's just so happy to be here today. And when your sorority sister is the law, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Indeed. Yes,
I just found this out, but hey.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I'm going to get into some technical questions here. And we know that especially when you aspire for any type of position that's, say, like at the top of the chain, there's going to be some challenges. So explain to us the challenges you had in your rise to ascension, being the first female sheriff of DeKalb County.
Wow. Let me tell you. First of all, you know, to get to this role, it took you have to have strong faith.
Yes.
You have to have strong faith in order to get to this role. This is a very strong role to be in when you're talking about the leader over 790,000 constituents. And these are the people that can make or break you.
Yes.
They put you in office, and they're the only ones that can take you out. But the role was very long, and it was very draining, but I stayed the course. And you're talking about 8 other candidates in this race that I had to go up against. But I say, well, let me change that. They had to go up against me because I was already in them. But I also had to, you had to show yourself. Even though I was already in the role as sheriff, I had to show and speak on my credentials. And I had to tell the citizens as well as everybody else, yes, I'm a female, I'm an African-American female, but I didn't run to be an African-American female sheriff. I didn't run to be a female sheriff. I ran to be sheriff.
All right.
And I wanted people to judge me by my works, judge me by my credentials and what I have done in the community.
Yes.
So to have 8 other candidates come up against you, but not only that, 7 of them were of my race.
Wow.
And I had daggers coming from every angle.
Wow.
But one thing about it, and I often use the analogy of me being a dancer from Morris Brown College, I had moves. And I know how to. I had moves.
You got the moves.
I had moves. I had moves. So I know how to move. When they're coming at you, I was flexible enough that I can move.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
yes.
You know, I could move. I could avoid it.
Move and shake.
But I didn't have to knock somebody else down in order to bring myself up.
Right.
And that's what was coming at me. I was being torn down. I was being stepped on. I was being, badgered. But it's okay. Because I know that God would not put me in a place or put me in a position that he was not going to bring me out greater than what I went in.
That's
All
right.
All right.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? That goes into the next question. What advice would you give other women aspiring leadership roles in law enforcement?
Stay the course. Stay the course. Michelle Obama said it best. Just because they go low don't mean that you have to go low with them.
That's right.
When
That's
they go
right.
low, go high.
That's right.
Keep the high road. Know and stay focused on what your focus is and what your goal is.
Mm-hmm.
When the path is not right for you, change the path.
Exactly.
Don't change. I changed my goal. I knew what I wanted to do and I was going to do it. And when I saw that there was too much going on over here, then I changed the path and I went over here. And see, everybody knows about this path, but nobody knew about this path over here.
Right,
It talks about the eye, the needle, and biblical text. So I just stayed my path, stayed the course, and I didn't let anyone change my thoughts, my actions, or anything else because I knew what I wanted to do.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Now, you know, that was a good statement that Sheriff just made. She said, just stay the path. You know, even though you may have goals in your life, don't get off the path. Just stay the path. And it seems to me, Sheriff, that you are a woman of faith because you mentioned, a lot about the pathway. And there was a scripture that come to mind when you said that when the camel tried to go, through the gates, he said that you cannot enter unless you enter through the eye of the needle of the path. Exactly. Right. So that was a great, you all take that with you all as well. So let's not forget that. So Yolanda, what was your next question that we have for the sheriff?
Okay, the next one is, there's been a tension historically between police and the African American community. How can we positively engage police officers with the African American community and establish trust?
Well, let me say this. It starts from at the top. You have to be able to trust the head. Let's take it back to the president. You trust your president, then everybody else is going to fall in line, right?
That's right.
Same thing with your leaders that you have in place in political offices. You got to trust the head. And I'm going to put it back on me. I have an acronym in my office. It's called EAR, Excellence, Accountability, and Respect. It's because we operate in excellence. It doesn't mean that we're perfect.
Right.
We're going to make mistakes, but it's about holding ourselves accountable. That's where the A comes in. We have to hold ourselves accountable for the actions. To be able to say, I'm sorry, it's a mistake, but this is what we're going to do to correct it to make sure that it doesn't happen again. But we also have to respect each other.
Right.
We have to respect ourselves first before we can expect the community to respect us. Trust starts at the top. So I have to be able to continue to stay out here in the community so that people can trust me, trust who I am as the sheriff. They voted me in. That means they trust me.
Exactly.
So what am I going to do? I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing. This is not something I have just started. Phyllis, you know that I've been out there.
Yes.
I've been doing this. This is a passion. And I often say this, and I tell it to my daughter. Success doesn't make you happy. If you love and have a passion for what it is that you do, you're going to be successful. I love what I do. I have a passion for what it is that I do. I don't do this for accolades. I don't put this uniform on for pictures. I do it because this is what I enjoy doing. And I pray that I hope that I'm touching somebody's life in some way. I want to make sure that people know that their loved ones who are incarcerated are being treated with dignity and respect.
Exactly.
Because we don't know. I tell my employees, you're just the incident away from being on the other side. So let's treat people not how they
That is true.
want to be treated, but how they should be treated.
Exactly.
And that is with respect.
All right.
Absolutely.
Y'all, I tell you, Sheriff is dropping some nuggets
on
here
now.
today. I mean, she is dropping some nuggets. I tell you, look, the lady in the red dress now, Sheriff of DeKalb County, she is dropping nuggets today, y'all. So, Sheriff, I have a question. How often do you work? Is it a 24 hours, 7 days a week shift?
This is a 24-hour, 7-day, 365 job.
Wow.
My day started, my first event was at 10 o'clock this morning.
Right.
But I didn't get home until late last night because I was out doing a community event to make sure that my community was safe and getting vaccinated.
Okay.
My day started this morning at 10. I won't end until probably about 3 today. I do what it takes to make sure that my community is taken care of. Because it's one of those things that I feel like if I take care of my community is going to take care of me.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Wow, absolutely, Sheriff.
Okay.
You know, I am so glad that she's here today, you all, because I tell you, I really haven't had a chance to actually sit down and just actually speak with her. I've always saw her, you know, on the run. Never seen her in that red dress again. She has had this sheriff uniform on since the time that she has taken office. So, Sheriff, we want to, you know, just congratulate you again, you know, on your run.
Yes.
And not saying that we're done yet, but I just have this feel of just congratulations to you, you know, being the woman that you are and actually being in the position as sheriff of one of the biggest counties here. You know, DeKalb County, there's a lot, you know, of work there, because I can think about I think that Thomas Brown was in the seat at one time, sitting in Dorsey and all of them when I was here in Georgia, because I am actually a native of Atlanta. I lived in DeKalb County pretty much all of my adult life. I attended Columbia High School, and I did, and I attended Morris Brown on the Overbound program too, and I was one of those dancer girls. So I to be in charge of a county of DeKalb. Oh my God.
It's a task, and you have to. It's truly a task, but it's a task that cannot be done. I cannot do it by myself.
Exactly.
This is not a one-man, one-woman show. We have to come together as a community, and that's where that trust come in.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I have, you're going to have.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
When you're safe, I know that I'm safe.
Mm.
So we have to come as one. We understand people like to say North DeKalb, South DeKalb, you know, separate the DeKalbs. It's still DeKalb County.
It's still DeKalb County.
And what affects one side of town is surely going to affect another side.
Exactly.
And what affects one community is going to go over into the other community. But I cannot take care of somebody else's household when mine is not in order.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
right.
So I got to get my household in order first.
Right.
Because I know that when I take care of my household, the seeds that I have planted will grow and take care of the outside. And it will pass on that which was given to me. So it is a task, but it's a task that I love. It's a task that I'm doing, and I'm going to continue to do it.
Absolutely. All right. I'm loving this.
I am too.
Yes. And Sheriff has told us guys about transparency.
Yes.
Transparency establishes trust with the community.
Yes.
And when you have a passion for what you do, you're going to love it.
Absolutely.
And you're going to be successful at it. And I liked what you said, too, when you told your staff you're just one bad decision from being on the other side yourself. Because I also worked, when I was in Florida, I worked at a level 10 facility. And those are boys 14 to 21. And it was level 10, one step from prison. And I also worked with the male population in the Department of Corrections as a teacher and a substance abuse counselor. So we knew, even though we worked there, you have to be on your P's and Q's, because you could be on the other side of that fence.
Absolutely.
In a heartbeat. So
Absolutely.
that is so true. So with that being said, what is the vision of the Sheriff's Department? Where do you see it going? Where do you want to take it?
Well, let me say this. First and foremost, it's about quality of life inside and outside that facility. My goal, and I've already put it out there, is to get a new facility.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
That jail is 26 years old.
Yeah, it is old.
That's old.
No one ever said that 26 years later we would be in a pandemic. But one thing this pandemic has taught us is how to survive.
Yes.
And we have survived in an old facility. And then remember the pandemic, everything became technology-wise. Zoom, not the Zoom, Zoom course, Zoom this. But how do you make sure that's working properly in an old facility? Some things can't even be prepared there because they don't even make the appliances to even repair certain things in the jail. That's number one. The amount of money that we're spending on that facility and the repairs that need to be done in order to keep it up, we're doing a disservice to taxpayers' dollars. And I say that because I'm a taxpayer in DeKalb County.
Okay.
My daughter's in DeKalb County. I have other family members in DeKalb County.
So, Sheriff, I have a question. When you mentioned the COVID, the pandemic, have the inmates of DeKalb County been vaccinated, or how are you all doing that?
Let me tell you about this pandemic, and I'm very proud of it. When this pandemic hit a year ago, our team jumped straight into action. I'm very proactive. I'm not a reactive sheriff. We knew that it was coming. It took us a long time for us to get our first COVID inmate.
Okay.
It wasn't if it's coming, it was what's going to happen when it comes.
When it came.
When it was to come, right, when we were going to get our first one. We finally got the first one, and it came to 2, and then we finally started getting the employees. But I'm proud to say, to this date, I probably have about 1,500, I think last I checked, I try to do a weekly count, about 1,500 inmates. This was handled so efficiently and effectively because we followed the CDC guidelines. We had an infectious disease control plan in place that was already implemented, but we just added to it because it was a pandemic. You know, this pandemic was deadly.
Right.
Yes.
To this date, I can say right now as we speak, it's been almost a month. At 1,500, I have no COVID cases.
Oh, all right, Sheriff. All right.
And out of the 53,000 cases that we've had in the state of Georgia, and over 6,000 have been right here in DeKalb County. And the 800, I think we have 800 deaths. Not a one was from the DeKalb County Jail. Not a one of our inmates have been hospitalized.
All right.
It's a medical team, the commanders at the sheriff's office, and the employees stepped in place. And they showed up, and they showed out, and they made it happen, and they came to work for those that could come. And that's what we are with the COVID, and we're still following the guidelines. We're still making sure that they have masks. We're still making sure that their pods are clean, their rooms are clean. We've now purchased our own sanitizing sprayers. We have 5 throughout the facility. So each room, if there's a certain area that has even had exposure, we're able to go in and spray ourselves. We have teams that are trained with such. We make sure that they get all that they need in order to stay safe. And that's one of the things I wanted to make sure that people know about their loved one that is in there, that we are making sure that they are safe. We have to make sure that we're safe, but we're going to make sure they are safe as well. And we do have their best interest at heart as sheriff office employees. But we also need the community to support us on things that we need as well, which is, again, I'm going back to it, a new facility.
All right.
Wow.
Quality of life for the employees, quality of life for the inmates.
Right. And I do want to shout out my church, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church.
Gosh, yes.
Because our prison ministry is in connection with.
Yes, they are. New Birth has been very instrumental. They do, which is part of the justice reform, and that's one of the things I want to continue to focus on as we move forward as the sheriff. When you talk about justice reform, it's like you look at it as to, are they better leaving out than what they did coming in?
Yes, absolutely.
And to this day, we had a pilot program. We have a pilot program. It's a welding program that we started last year. Was actually started up under my predecessor, Sheriff Jeffrey Mann. I have to give him a shout out on that because he started it, but I continued it. To this day, we've graduated 13 inmates in this program.
Wow.
90% of them are already working. Welding, for those that don't know, $30 to $35 an hour. So I asked you to research it and see how much how much they pay an hour. $30 to $35 an hour. We're giving those inmates an opportunity. Some people say, well, they need a second chance. Some of them never had a first chance.
Exactly.
You can't give somebody a second chance when they've never had a first chance. They've never had opportunities. So we're giving them opportunities. And understand one thing, we're not asking anybody to give these inmates a handout. We're just asking them to give them an opportunity to be on the right track. Because when they come out better than what they did when they go in, that means less havoc on our lives. So we have to work together as a community.
Absolutely.
Well, I tell you, y'all, it seemed like that it may not be bad going into the DeKalb County Jail. Just kidding.
No, don't.
You don't want to go like that.
No.
But our sheriff is really, it seems to me that she really has a passion about her job and for her county, and not just only the employees, but her inmates as well. So you all have heard from Sheriff Melody Maddox, but I just want to just give you an opportunity to just tell us, who is Melody?
Wow. Who's Melody? Let me tell you, Melody is the little girl that was born in Grady Memorial Hospital.
I'm a
Grady
Grady baby too.
I'm originally from here, and I'm
Yes.
very proud to say that. I'm
Yes.
very authentic. I am a true Georgia peach.
All right.
And you don't find those too often. You don't
Often.
find too many Georgia peaches here,
Yes.
but I'm a Grady baby too.
Yes, that's right. We Georgia peaches. But first of all, before I even go into that about myself, I just want to say thank you to you all, to you ladies, for pulling me. This is what make me grind. When I have the support of my sisters next to me.
Oh, yeah,
I have
most
one on
definitely.
my right. I have one on my left.
Yes.
And I hear Phyllis always talk about that red dress. She don't know I gave that red dress away a long time.
Did you, girl?
I gave that red dress away. But I want to thank you all.
Oh.
And then thank you all for this opportunity to be able to even speak on this platform. But just having you all to support me is more than a notion in itself. Because again, remember what I said. The challenge sometimes come from our own.
Yes.
The Bible says, "For a man's foes will be that of thine own household."
All right, now preach,
And
girl.
it's so true. But he teaches you how to deal with it. So I thank you all. But as I said, I'm originally from here. I went to Brown High School, a 1995 graduate, Morris Brown College, dear old
Okay.
Morris Brown, my alma mater.
the
I always have to give
Wolverines.
the Wolverine.
Yes.
Always have to give a shout out to them. When they say haven for our hungry souls, feeding them shall be our goal. And that is so true. This is
Yes.
the foundation. Morris
Yes.
Brown gave me the opportunity to showcase my knowledge when I didn't even know how to go about saying that I could do it. Morris
Right.
Brown said, "Come in. Here's what you do." And once they, again, as I said, the opportunity was presented, I took it and I ran with it.
All right.
All you had to do was give me that opportunity. I worked for the Atlanta Police Department, DeKalb County Police Department. From DeKalb Police, I went over to Georgia Piedmont. At that time was DeKalb Tech. I helped form, along with another individual, to form the police department over there. To this day,
Okay.
stepped out on faith in 2014 with $12,000 to my name to run for DeKalb County Sheriff, knowing that I was not going to beat the incumbent. But I still had to put myself out there to let
Faith.
people know that
Yes.
I had to step out on faith.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
all on
most
faith.
definitely.
Just to show that I'm coming back. But it was just to get me started. Like I said, people have to know that, trust the process. And there was a process, and God was taking me through that to prepare me for what I am, to where I am to this day. Went up to the sheriff office July 2019 as the chief of administration, from chief of administration to chief deputy to now the sheriff.
Wow.
All right. The sheriff.
And you know what? That goes right into the next, what I wanted to say. Oprah Winfrey said, a mentor is someone who allows you to see the hope that is inside of you. So now that being said, Morris Brown and all of this, the track that you have underneath your feet, who mentored you? Who believed in you?
Well, number one, there were a couple of people that believed in me, and that's God. That's number one. Like I said, I make no apologies about my faith. It's very strong.
Oh, no, that's right.
But God, my parents, my mother, Air Force, my mom, my dad, Army, who's now deceased. But they believed in me. My dad believed in me so much until he said I was so rough, he called me Junior. My name was Junior.
Look at
I
that.
never understood. I was like, Daddy, why would you call him? He's like, because you should have been a boy. You're so rough. You're just such a roughie.
Look at that.
But my parents, in the community, I will say I have a very strong mentor, and that is Dr. Penny Brown Reynolds. The Honorable Judge Dr. Penny Brown Reynolds,
Oh, Miss
who
P.
encouraged me, who always pushes me, who's always praying for me. And ladies, I will say out there, if you don't have a mentor, get one.
Exactly.
You need to get a mentor, someone that you can trust, that you know that you can call on, and they will not judge you for anything that you say or do. But they're always going to be true to you and tell you the truth.
Exactly.
See, real friends tell you the truth and tell you take that shirt off, take those pants off.
Yes.
But understand that friend that is giving that's receiving the advice should take it as my friend is true to me by telling me the truth. But I also have to give a shout out to the late Bishop Quincy Lavelle Carswell.
Yes.
Bishop was the one one day I remember saying, Bishop, I don't know, this may be too much for me. And I don't know if for those that are out there don't know the tongue that Bishop had. And he told me, you better get out there and hold your head up high and you go get it.
I know that's
all
right.
And when I heard him say that, it was like a dad speaking to me, and he sounded like my dad at that time, and I straightened up and I just went full force in. So those are the two great mentors, and to this day, Judge Penny, I hope she's on here. She may jump on it at some time.
Oh,
Judge Penny, she may jump on. She may be busy, but she is phenomenal. And when I say my mentor, I'm very strict when it comes to it, and very personal. I said that is my mentor, because I don't think that God could have placed me with anybody more strong, more authentic, more loving, more caring. She is the epitome than Dr. Penny Brown Reynolds. Dr. Penny Brown Reynolds.
Wow.
Yes, I had an opportunity to meet Judge Penny when we a few years ago. I was actually running for commissioner in 2016, and it was during Christmas time, and we had an event over at Roy Barnes' home.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and she was there, and she got up and she prayed, and from that time on, we have been friends. And after we have good friends together, Pastor Sherry Austin. But you never know the path of a person, and you never know who knows who. But Judge Penny, she is definitely a great woman of God. So I can see her being your mentor.
Yes.
Do we have any other questions?
Yes.
I just want to say, and the thing about being the first, she was the first attorney, and a black female for the governor. For Governor Roy Barnes.
Yes.
And that says something. As young as she was, a young African-American female to serve as counsel for a governor.
And see, I didn't know that,
Yes.
We're just at Governor Barnes' home at a Christmas event, and look, they didn't even know who I was keeping company with.
You just never know.
You just never know. But we're getting close.
Yeah, just one more.
Okay, just one more.
Because we got to talk about our babies. Okay.
Yes.
And we know that idle hands are the devil's workshop.
Yes.
So if we don't keep our young people engaged, we know those little hands will get into things. So how can law enforcement partner with our local schools to deter our young people from making bad choices?
First of all, before we can even go into the schools, we got to build them to trust us. We can't go into schools if they don't trust us.
That's right.
So we have to start off on the smallest, slow. It's like a baby with anything else. You have to gradually ease. We have to gradually ease ourselves back out. Remember the tension that we just come from.
Yeah.
Right.
And we still pretty much in that. So we have to take baby steps to get back to that. And remember what I said, it still falls back on us as leaders.
Right.
So that's why I'm constantly out in the community. That's why you said I never stop. I can't stop.
You can't stop.
I can't stop. I can't stop and won't stop.
All right.
I gotta get out there and be out there in the community.
Yes.
I'm not an office sheriff, a desk sheriff. Yes, I have administrative work that I must tend to. But they will tell you once I finish that work, I gotta go. And the only reason I'm not doing this much is because of the pandemic. So it starts with me. It starts with me grooming my team and my team to slowly ease their way back into the school system. But let me tell you what I've also done with the agency. At 20, you had to be 20 years old in order to apply for a job at the Dekalb County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
When you talk about that pipeline, the prison thing, we want to stop them before they even get into the devil's hand.
That's right.
Before they start getting that idle time and finding anything and letting the streets just succumb. The Bible talks about that the lion looks to see who can devour him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Up and
right.
down the
And
earth, trying to find a soul to devour.
Right.
And I refuse to let that happen in my community.
All right.
So what I've done is drop the age down from 20 years old to 18 years old.
Awesome.
To come in and work for the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office.
Yes.
So you can come in as a detention technician. We are hiring for technicians, deputy sheriffs, DOs. Now, to start off, think about this. As a detention officer, out of high school, $37,000
Oh,
a
wow.
year.
That's awesome.
That's a start.
Great.
All
I
you
mean,
need
that
is a
is
high
that
school
is
diploma.
good.
Yes.
Yes.
18 years old. We send our kids off to war in other countries
At the age of 18.
at the age of 18.
Yes.
Exactly.
So why not give them a job and put them on a
And let
career
them go to
path?
work.
My.
You notice I don't call it a job. I say career path.
A career path.
Because at $37,000 at 18 years old, not only that, it's 4 weeks of paid training, uniform, everything you need to be successful in your career. We have given it to you, and even we've incorporated a financial literacy class. We have home buyership. We have someone from both areas to come in and speak on how to manage your money, but how to invest it in home ownership as well. So we don't just give you that and show you what to do with it. We put you on that path. We want you to be successful, and anybody that falls up under my leadership, they're going to be successful. I believe in success.
I love this, Sheriff, because as an educator, I worked at a school in Florida that was in an affluent community. Everything you're talking about is what they had. Okay, the summer programs, the coding, just business minded, just steering these children in the right way, keeping them busy. And I would love to see that in our Black and brown communities.
It should be.
They should have the same opportunity and the same chance to be successful.
Absolutely. Well, it starts with me. And I have started in my first class. Whenever they start the training, like I said, we're going from 2 weeks to 4 weeks now, so we can make sure we incorporate that in so they can have it. Like I said, it's about being success. Excellence, accountability, and respect leads to success. And the acronym stands for EARS. It means I hear you, and we are doing it.
Come on. All right.
All right. Now, Sheriff, just give us some information on how can someone contact the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office.
Sure. You can dial. Let me give you the number. You can go to DeKalb County Sheriff. I'm going to go to DeKalbSheriff.org/careers. That's number one. DeKalbSheriff.org/careers. But let me give you a number where you can also call, and you can leave a message, and someone will call you back in 24 hours. That phone number is 404-298-8282. 404-298-8282. Should you have any questions in regard to the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office, or should you want me to come out on anything, people, please don't send me messages through Facebook because I don't answer. I'm just sorry, I can't do that. But you call that and you speak to an assistant, and if they don't answer, leave a message, and I can guarantee you they will call you back in 24 hours.
Well, you all, I tell you, it has been nice speaking with the DeKalb County Sheriff, Melody Maddox. She has really dropped a lot of nuggets on you all today.
Yes.
Stay on your path.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. Stay on your path.
And then what was the other ones? Because
I said
stay on the path.
Stay. No,
keep your faith.
You got to keep your faith.
Keep your faith.
And stay. Keep your goal. Stay focused on your goal.
Stay focused on your goal.
Don't change your goal. Change your path.
Exactly.
If you see that the path is muddy over there, then change the path. Go to a drier path. Go to the path that's on the straight and narrow.
Okay, awesome.
Never give up on your goal.
Well, it has been nice speaking with Sheriff Melody Mattis today, you all. I tell you, I was sitting here listening to her, and she almost started preaching a little bit.
I do.
I got a few tears, you know. I almost wanted to shed a few tears, you know, because, you know, sometimes when you're in law enforcement, sometimes people just don't have the compassion for the community. Yes. And I see that we have a sheriff here of DeKalb County that has your heart. She has the compassion for her inmates. She has the compassion for her community. So that tells me that when election comes again, that she will be the sheriff of DeKalb County. Because we need to make sure, y'all, that we continue to elect people that has a heart for God's people, not just only a political position.
That's right. Yes.
Even though we're in women in politics, but women in politics, you know, sometimes it's not all about just politics. It's about the heart. So, Sheriff, I thank you so much, you know, for being here with us. It has been fun. I have learned a little bit more about you today, and I'll stop saying the little red dress thing since you have thrown it away.
Yeah, I got it.
So I got to come up with another introduction, you all, you know, so when we have her on again. But I am Phyllis Hatcher, and my co-host is Yolanda Sanders. We are Women in Politics. So continue to tune in to our Facebook Live. We are here every third Saturday at 12 o'clock p.m. I'd like to give a shout out to Fusion Radio also to be gracious to host us here today, and we will see you again on the third Saturday of April.
Yeah, April.
Of April, right?
Right. And before we tune off, I just want to say I want to thank my sorority sister.
Yeah.
Alpha Kappa Alpha
ladies
is doing
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
And we are women of faith here at Women in Politics, and we make no excuses for that.
Exactly.
And I know what you're going through somewhat because I interned with the police department when I was in college. Wow. So I rolled out at night, 2-3 o'clock in the morning. So your job is difficult.
Yes.
So you need the community behind you,
Absolutely.
just like we need you.
That's it.
So thank you
Yes.
so much for coming.
Yes, thank you. No, thank you.
All right, you all. We're going to tune out. We'll see you next time. And thanks again for tuning in to Women in Politics.
Yes.
Have a
Can I say
great
something
day.
really
Thank
quick?
you.
Hold on. The
Just one
sheriff
more
want to
thing.
say
I just want to
something.
say something. You talked about politics. You know, us being in politics. Let me just say this, and I've heard someone else said it. I'm not a politician.
That's right. You're a
I'm
servant.
a public servant.
There
I
you
just
go.
happen to run for political office.
I love it.
Did y'all hear that? She's a woman in politics, but she is a public servant.
Yes.
You know what? We will be seeing Sheriff Maddox again. She will be your DeKalb County Sheriff for a very, 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 very long time. You all have a great evening.
Have a great.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
You will.